I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Thursday, April the 24th, 2014. The Times of Israel reports that Israel has announced that it will immediately suspend peace negotiations with the Palestinian Authority in the wake of yesterday's announcement by Palestinian rival factions Fatah and Hamas that they had signed a deal to form a unity government, saying that Israel won't hold negotiations as long as the Fatah-Hamas reconciliation process continues. The Israeli government reportedly made their announcement today after a 6-hour-long emergency top-level cabinet meeting led by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to address the Palestinian unity deal and its implications. In the Times of Israel report, Israel also said it planned to implement economic sanctions against the PA. The United States had said yesterday when the Palestinian unity deal was announced that they were concerned about the news. State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki told a daily press briefing,
"Any Palestinian government must unambiguously and explicitly commit to nonviolence, recognition of the State of Israel, and acceptance of previous agreements and obligations between the parties." This announcement was, the timing was troubling, and we were certainly disappointed in the announcement. If absent a clear commitment to those principles I just outlined, this could seriously complicate our efforts, not just our efforts, but the efforts between the parties, more importantly, to extend the negotiations.
Psaki also said that it was hard to see how Israel could be expected to negotiate with a government that doesn't believe in its right to exist. A senior U.S. administration official also told Reuters yesterday that the U.S. would need to make an assessment if the unity deal actually comes to fruition that could impact U.S. aid to the Palestinians. Yesterday, Israel had canceled scheduled peace talks with Palestinian negotiators after the announcement was made about the unity government. The Jerusalem Post reported that Israel canceled the planned meeting after the announcement last night with PA negotiators and U.S. mediators, which was aimed at trying to extend peace negotiations beyond the upcoming April 29th deadline. And Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu last night once again expressed that the Palestinians needed to make a choice, and the unity deal means that they did. Netanyahu said Abu Mazen, referring to Abbas, needs to choose between peace with Israel and an accord with Hamas. Abu Mazen, he said, chose Hamas and not peace. Anyone who chooses Hamas does not want peace. Netanyahu also reportedly called U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry last night after the news of the unity deal, where Netanyahu said that he was not too surprised by the move, telling Kerry that this was the way the Palestinians operated, that as they get close to decision time, when it looks like both sides are close to coming to a solution, that, quote, the Palestinians jump. Abbas had said that the unity deal should not impact or contradict talks with Israel, and that he was still looking to create a Palestinian state living side by side with Israel. And senior PLO official Jabril Rajoub told Army Radio today that it was clear in signing the deal with Hamas that they will have to implement Abbas's policies and that a two-state solution was still the goal. Responding to the news of the Palestinian unity government yesterday, Executive Director of the American Jewish Committee, David Harris, said it was a game changer that sabotages John Kerry's efforts to achieve a two-state solution. And he said that Palestinian leadership has squandered an historic opportunity for peace. Harris said of PA President Mahmoud Abbas, first he announced that the Palestinians acting unilaterally would join 15 international bodies. Now he has partnered with Hamas, listed by both the U.S. and European Union as a terrorist group. As the U.S. State Department spokesperson said yesterday, Harris said, Israel cannot be expected to negotiate with a group that does not even recognize its very right to exist. A mortar shell was fired at an IDF patrol today. The IDF unit was conducting routine activities along the border fence with Gaza at the time of the attack. No injuries or damage was reported. The Anti-Defamation League is speaking out against a new video produced by missionary group Jews for Jesus. The video portrays Jesus as being among those in the selection line at what appears to be the entrance to Auschwitz, and a Nazi officer sends him to the gas chambers with the tagline, "That Jew died for you." The ADL condemned the video. National Director Abe Foxman, himself a Holocaust survivor, said the video was a cynical abuse of the Holocaust for purposes of proselytizing. Foxman said it is deeply offensive not only to Jews who lost family members in the Holocaust, but also to Christians who would not want to see images of Jesus used for propaganda or shock value. The Jerusalem Post reports that Israeli Nobel laureate Professor Dan Shechtman has been named a member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Shechtman, who won the Nobel for Chemistry in 2011, is also running to be the next president of Israel, although he is not an official candidate yet. The American Academy of Arts and Sciences recognizes achievement in the fields of natural sciences, social sciences, arts, and humanities, and is a leading center for independent policy research based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Shechtman was among 205 of the world's most accomplished scholars, scientists, writers, and artists who were chosen yesterday to be members of the honorary society. 2 other Israelis also made the list. They are astrophysicist Netta Bekel and co-founder of the online learning platform Coursera, Daphne Kohler. U.S. peace envoy and mediator Martin Indyk, who is also a former U.S. ambassador to Israel, will also be inducted as a new member of the Academy. Over 1,000 Jewish participants are gathering for the Limud FSU Moscow Conference. The 9th annual conference begins today and runs through Sunday in what is considered the largest Jewish gathering in the former Soviet Union. This year's Moscow conference will include sessions led by Chief Scientist of the Israeli Ministry of Aliyah and Immigrant Absorption, Professor Ze'ev Kanin, who will talk about his new research on contemporary FSU Jewish youth. Also, International Fellowship of Christians and Jews leader Rabbi Yechiel Eckstein, Israeli Ambassador to Russia Dorit Golender, and former refusnik and Soviet Jewry hero Yosef Mendelevich, among many others. The founder of Limud FSU, Chaim Chesler, said the Moscow conference is the flagship of the Limud program, which takes place today in 7 countries: Russia, Belarus, Moldova, Ukraine, USA, Canada, and Israel. He said our dream was to present to the new generation of young Russian-speaking Jews throughout the world topics which are close to their hearts and excite their imagination, adding, evidently the dream has become a reality. The American Jewish Committee extended its congratulations to the Catholic Church on the canonizations of Pope John XXIII and John Paul II, 2 popes who the AJC said were most responsible for the dramatic revolution in Catholic Jewish relations in our time. AJC's International Director of Interreligious Affairs, Rabbi David Rosen, said of the 2 popes, "Thanks to their vision and leadership, the Catholic Church today affirms its unique, profound rootedness in Judaism, promotes the closest of respectful relations with the Jewish people, and condemns anti-Semitism as a sin." Pope John XXIII convened the Second Vatican Council, which decreed the Nostra Aetate document that led to the transformation in Catholic teaching regarding Jews, Judaism, and Israel. And Pope John Paul II was the first pontiff to visit a synagogue and to visit the State of Israel. Rosen will attend the canonization ceremony for the 2 popes, which is set to take place in St. Peter's Square this Sunday, April the 27th. And in our Shalom TV programming for tonight, April the 24th, Rabbi Rosen is Mark Golub's guest on L'chaim at 9 o'clock, where he'll talk about Jewish relations with the Vatican. Before that, at 8 o'clock, Executive Director of the AJC, David Harris, takes a look at the changing global landscape from Temple Bethel in Stamford, Connecticut. That's all coming up tonight here on Shalom TV and ShalomTV.com. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Thursday, April the 24th, 2014. I'm Teisha Bader.